Good evening, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here amongst such distinguished people. Thank you for your warm welcome. I'd like us to start this evening by all taking the time to close our eyes. And I want you to think back. I want you to travel back to a time when you were all students. I want you to imagine yourselves sat in your classrooms, at your desks, surrounded by your classmates. Who do you see in front of you? Let's open our eyes. You see, I think it's highly likely that we all have a similar experience, and stood in front of us in the classroom is our teacher, telling us all about the facts that relate to our subject area, preparing us for that all-important exam. I have no doubt we're all sat silently, taking notes, preparing, listening intently to the skills that we need to get that desired qualification. Now, do any of us here see an issue with this scenario? You see, yes, we all would have learned vast amounts of knowledge, and that knowledge would have got us a qualification. And I'm not negating the importance of qualifications. We need universities, we need them to secure jobs. However, did any of us learn the skills that we required for life? Did you learn the skills you needed to navigate your way through, or did you have to teach them yourselves? Well, those questions and those reflections bring us on to my topic for this evening, and that is the changing role of a teacher in the 21st century. You see, my friends, the teacher's role historically has been to deliver subject-based knowledge in the classroom. But I think it's becoming increasingly clear over these last few years that that role is changing. Our students out there have to navigate their way through life, through an uncertain future, and they're going to need skills to do that. You see, teachers are going to have to evolve. They're going to have to change in the 21st century from being just knowledge deliverers to skills and knowledge developers. Now, I want you all to think, you see, because our jobs, and young adults, your jobs, will require skills and knowledge. But what skills and knowledge do we need? How many of us here have to work as a team? Put your hand up. And how many of us here have to work with IT? Yeah, pretty much all of us. And how many of us have worked our way up to being leaders and managers? You see, the fact of the matter is, if you work as a team, you need collaboration skills. If you work with IT, you better be digitally literate. And if you work as a leader, well, I hope you've got good communication skills. And these are just 3 examples of the skills that our young adults need to navigate their way through life and to be successful in the world of work. You see, if our teachers are to develop these skills in our students, they've got to be more than just content deliverers in the classroom. Institutions across the world are now recognizing the need for our teachers to make this shift in their role. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD themselves, through the Learning Compass 2030, have said that skills are a competency that our students need to navigate their way through the world. And given the need that our young adults at the back have for skills, we're going to have to change the role our teachers play in the classroom, from knowledge deliverers to skills and knowledge developers. But I'm here to ask you, how do we prepare and support our teachers in making this vital change in the classroom? You see, I can tell you firsthand as a teacher that teaching skills to our students is not as easy as you may think. If you take the skill of collaboration, for example, we can't teach our young adults the skill of collaboration in a one-off 40-minute lesson. You see, developing skills in our young adults is a journey, and it's a continual process that needs to be interwoven with the delivery of subject content. So when we're delivering collaboration skills, we've got our lovely young adults working in partnership with each other, doing research and doing presentations, learning collaboration skills, communication skills, and critical thinking skills. But some people see this as being a problem because it takes time, my friends, to develop those skills. Time that unfortunately some teachers and managers think detracts away from preparation for the exam. Now I tell you something, I'm going to argue the opposite. I'm going to tell you that developing skills in our students actually helps them pass exams as well as prepare for life. You see, because when our students have collaboration skills, they can peer assess each other, they can work as study buddies, they can coach and mentor each other, extending the learning outside of the classroom. When our students have communication skills, they can articulate themselves in an examination, and the examiner knows exactly what they're trying to say. And when our young adults have critical thinking skills, they can answer higher order questions and secure extra grades that they need. You see, skills support exam success. They don't hinder it. And I think it's essential that we all begin to understand that developing knowledge and skills is not mutually exclusive. It's actually quite the opposite. Delivering and developing skills and knowledge is a symbiotic relationship for our children. It's a relationship that complements each other nicely. You see, the shift in the role of a teacher from knowledge deliverer to skills and knowledge developer is actually monumental. It's a huge shift, and we're going to have to celebrate and support our teachers to the fullest as they make this change. But who is going to support them? Who is going to help them? Well, I tell you who: we are. Because learning institutions, governments, exam boards, parents, learners, everybody is going to need to play a role in the vital shift in education. Each stakeholder needs to prioritize. Each stakeholder needs to promote and support the delivery of skills within our classroom. You see, educational institutions need to provide opportunity for our teachers to share good practice with each other, because we live in a time where technology will allow our teachers to learn at any time and in any place. And if we harness this power of technology, we can do absolutely anything. You see, it's never been easier for our teachers to share good practice with each other, to give each other ideas, to reflect and to collaborate. And when our teachers have an access to a vast array of strategies, they can be successful. They can find a pedagogy that suits them and our children's context. You see, moving forward, schools we really do have to start to provide high-quality continual professional development. I'm still surprised sometimes how we don't see our teachers as learners. We must give them time, we must give them support, and we must give them resources to make this change, the change that our children need for life. You see, this is going to be critical to the success of this transition. Teachers need training, they need resources, and they need support. They need the tools to be a success. Even our governments across the world are now beginning to recognize the need to teach skills to our children. The Indian government, through the national education policy themselves, make reference to supporting teachers, make reference to the fact that our students need skills such as collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. Our parents saw their living rooms become classrooms and now truly understand the need. They saw our teachers teach our children skills, the skill of independence, the skill of communication, our teachers teaching our children digital literacy. They understand the benefits of this change. They appreciate the need. They appreciate our teachers. See, we've all watched together over the last couple of years as our teachers have grown, as our teachers have changed their role. Students themselves now even recognize and appreciate the need for our teachers to teach them skills. They understand that if they're to navigate their way through the 21st century, they need the skills to do so, as well as the qualifications. See, our students need skills to get into good universities, to secure good careers, to be healthy, happy global citizens. Our students have been activated. Our students have taken control of their learning through metacognitive skills. Our students are now developing the skills that they need to be more effective, more efficient learners, to be competitive out in the world, to survive and to be happy in the world. And as educators or stakeholders of education, it is our role to support this process. You see, the evidence is clear. Our teachers need to make a shift from knowledge deliverers to skills and knowledge developers. The role of a teacher is changing. Students need them to change, and they need us to support them. You see, I believe that now is our greatest opportunity. Now is the greatest opportunity we've ever had to change education for our students, from rote learning to skills development. See, the case for change is clear, and the signposts to where we need to go are there. We're all stakeholders of education, so I'm here to ask you to act decisively, to act boldly, and to be innovative. We must prioritize, we must support, we must promote our teachers' journey from knowledge deliverers to skills and knowledge developers. So I'm here to ask you one last question to end this talk tonight. What are you going to do to support, to promote our teachers' journey in the 21st century from becoming knowledge deliverers to skills and knowledge developers? Thank you.